How's everybody this afternoon? Beautiful day out. Great day to be on a Zoom meeting, huh? So we will move it along so we can enjoy that great weather out there.
I can't hear.
We can still have a few people coming in, but we're going to get started. And if you would do me a favor and type your name and school into the chat so we can just keep track of who's here, that would be great. Or Jeff, if you're not at a school, you can just put the SOCT. And let me do my share here. Everybody see that fine? And uh-oh. I want to reboot. Just had to reboot my computer thing come up. That's not helpful. So welcome. We're excited to be back for another year of Unified Sports. This is year 33 in Connecticut, I believe. And that's almost as far back as Unified goes. So let's see if I can get this. There we go. Our Unified staff is the same as last year. Barbara Horn handles elementary and a lot of our reporting issues with our grants. Carol Brzezowski is in charge of all of us, runs, you hear a lot from Carol. She's our head communicator. Kathy Davey is in her second year with us and involved with a lot of things, especially youth leadership and elementary things, and is our creative force when it comes to new unified activities. That's me in the middle, the old guy. My granddaughter says, "Ubby, you're old." They call me Ubby. You know, I'm just kidding, right? You know, I'm just kidding. Steve Trafone is our second year with us. Is our football commissioner for flag football. And John Niski, our associate director on the right, he masquerades also as our cornhole commissioner. So we have a great team. We enjoy working together. We enjoy working with all of you. We have a whole host of sports that we offer: soccer, basketball, bowling, cornhole, track and field, flag football, elementary days, young athlete days. But there are even more sports that schools have chosen to take on. We have schools with bocce, kickball, fishing, cheerleading, tennis. A lot of folks are still doing volleyball, which they love. We just found it wasn't a great fit for our tournament structure, but still a fun game. Some wiffle ball. If you have any suggestions, please offer those up to us. Let us know if you're doing something exciting, unusual. Maybe we'll spotlight you. We'd love to see pictures of all your events, your practices, and we can share on our social media and also tag you and your schools in and get you the recognition you deserve. Kathy, you want to talk about the challenges we've been discussing?
Okay, so you guys can see right there challenges that we've done: marathon, trick shot, mountain climber, jingle jive, and we have some others that are in the walking challenge that we have in the works. But we're also up for suggestions, and if there's something that you do at your school that really motivates the kids, please share it with us, as we'd like to incorporate that into a challenge for everybody else.
We had a lot of success with our Jingle Jive challenge of the years. Last year, we decided to rename it to make it more exciting. So we called it the Holiday Hustle, I think. That confused a lot of people. So if we do it again, we'll probably go back to the Jingle Jive. And so we look forward to seeing your participation there. If you have any questions, just jump in. I can't see my full participant list. So just unmute yourself and say, "Hey, can I ask a question?" And we'll be glad to bring you right in. Keys to success for whatever you're doing: keep your athletic director and principal involved. Invite your school district leaders to your events. They love to be there to meet the parents, see the kids, and get to know. That's the fun part of the job of an administrator. A lot of times they're involved in stuff that's not so fun. So give them an outlet for experiencing the joy that we do. Let our staff know how we can help you. Keep up with communication and enthusiasm, and we know you'll be successful. Just the fact that you're here today means that you're invested and probably already successful. Our events this year, our tournaments are up on the website. We'll go into how to access those. We have a YAC meeting a week from Saturday. We have Arik Jackson coming to help us train our youth leaders. We're willingly accept any participants. And Arik was with us 2 years ago and was an outstanding success. We're glad to have him back. Our Youth Leadership Summit is November 14th at Rocky Hill High School. We've got Ed Garrity as our keynote speaker, still formulating the rest of that program. But that's open to everybody in the state. We have a mini summit. We noticed that our participation from Fairfield County and from Eastern Connecticut has been less than we would hope because of travel difficulties, bus issues, that kind of thing. So we're offering a mini summit September 26th. When I last edited this slide, we didn't know the location, but that will be at Staples High School a week from Thursday. Arik Jackson will be our keynote speaker for that, as well as a couple of breakout sessions and activities. And then we're going to repeat that on September 27th at Norwich Free Academy. The hours are 9 to noon with lunch following. And if you're in that area, want to participate, can't find the link, let us know. We'd be glad to have you participate with us. And it's not too early to be putting it on your calendar for our Uniform Sports Awards Banquet, Monday, April 28th. We give our one athlete, one partner per school awards, our overall school awards called the Michaels Cup Awards. And Carol, do you want to say a couple words about the SA program?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, the SA is accepted by partners. There's a category for high school partners, middle school partners, as well as athlete, middle school and high school athletes. We will be asking that nobody submit essays via AI. Apparently that's come up in our discussions. And they're normally out in January sometime, the application for that. So keep an eye out for that.
Great. We don't have a slide for it here, but let me see if I can remove my spotlights. Let's see. And Jeff from SOCT. Jeff, do you want to jump in and tell us about Penguin Plunge?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me today. So I just wanted to take a few minutes just to discuss our Penguin Plunge, that Penguin Plunges that we have throughout the state for you all. So if you're not familiar with our plunges, our plunges are a fundraising opportunity for Special Olympics Connecticut and all the schools across the state. So all the money that is raised by your team, by your school, is a 50-50 split with Special Olympics and your program. So essentially, if you raise, say, $5,000, we just cut a check back to the school for $2,500 for you to use however you see fit for your program. So it's just a great opportunity to, help raise some extra money for your program, create extra opportunities, get extra t-shirts, have a party at the end of the year that you might not have had budgeted for your program already. So we do have a few across the state. We have one in the we call the Shoreline Plunge down in Groton at Eastern Point Beach on March 2nd, one in Middletown, March 15th, one in Brookfield, March 22nd, one in Tolland, March 29th, one in Monroe, also on March 29th. And we also typically have one in Fairfield. We're still just confirming the date at Jennings Beach. So that will be coming out. I will share the flyers and some other information with Carol to help circulate to you all. That way you don't have to worry about the dates that I just mentioned right now, but we will be circulating that information. But ultimately, we just wanted to share this opportunity. We think it's a great opportunity for you to fundraise, an easy way to use our platform. It's all online for the most part. You can take cash and checks as well. But the structure, the platform is there for you. It shares right to social media. So if you have a Facebook page or anything like that for the school, it connects right there through your email as well. So it's a very easy platform to raise money. We also have the option to do it yourself. If you want to do it at the school or at another location, we just ask if you're going to do it, at the school or anywhere else, just please contact us just so we can make sure that, we have all the measures in place, fire, EMS, divers, things like that if you're going into a body of water. But that's really it. I just wanted to give some brief information. I'll hang around, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the chat. I'll share my email in here as well. You can reach out to me directly. But like I said, I'll be sharing more information with Carol to help circulate that to all the coaches.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
I know
those dates are also on the website, right, Jeff?
Yeah, I'll share the plunge website too as well here in the chat.
That'd be great if you could put it in the chat. Thank you.
Yep.
Great. I know Pomperaug High School got some great press last year for their participation, and I know Stephanie's on here. Stephanie, do you want to chime in about how great the plunge is?
Hi, Stephanie Bregman, Pomperaug High School. So we've done the plunge, I believe, 7 years in a row now, and it's our one and only fundraiser most years. We raise a ton of money. The students involved, both athletes and partners, they love being the center of attention and doing something really daring and cool, and they get a lot of attention for it. And the platform's really, really easy to fundraise. Each player gets their own fundraising page, but they're all part of a team. So all of the money goes together towards our team in Special Olympics Connecticut, and then is split. And, we've raised thousands. One year, we took back over $5,000, which really pays for everything we need, all the events we host and T-shirts and all kinds of things like that. A lot of food. We pay for a lot of food with that. Last year, Channel 8 News, Laura Hutchinson was coming to the event and asked for a group to kind of join in and participate with. And so she showed up. We gave her a costume to join because teams usually do like a costume theme. We brought her a costume. She joined right in. We had a great time. It really was a lot of fun. So we look forward to doing it every year.
Well, thanks, Steph. And congratulations on being your district's Teacher of the Year this year.
Thank you so much.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
One of the highlights for us is we get to culminate basketball season with the halftime games at the CIAC basketball championships at Mohegan Sun. We usually put out a survey in January and start collecting names of folks who are interested. We like to have the schools who are participating in the championship games represented if we can. So it makes it a little dicey in terms of last minute scheduling. But it's really beneficial when you see the teams that have their student bodies there to cheer on their unified folks. We get a lot of support regardless of who's in attendance for those games. I'm just going to play a little bit of this highlight video for you, but I'll probably skip some of the middle because the ending is really good.
I've been caught down on the road, find a beautiful view. There ain't no monsters left in the dark, ain't no excuses left in the room. If this is where the future can start, then I'm glad I'm here next to you. If you move with your soul and you forget what you told me, you can win the world. Dance in the rain, become friends with your pain, and you can win the world. Oh,
Okay. No, actually, yes, it had a, okay, now it's, whoop, in a minute.
Oh. To figure out how I can advance the slide. No, there we go. So as we move through the year, we get asked a lot for reporting certain grants that we get, want to know about numbers of participants, and it's important for us to be able to report to Special Olympics how many people we have. So when you're registering for an event, please also click the Master Team Roster button, and that will give us like an ongoing list of how many folks we have participating at every level. Even if you're not registering for one of our events, if you take the time to go on to the website and just click that Master Team Roster and list your team participants once you've got your rosters set, and you can add students as you go if you need to. And we're not collecting birth dates anymore, so that helps the ease of reporting all those things. Good. For intent to enter, the list is up there on the website already. Just choose the. Did I skip a bunch of slides here? No, I don't think so. And just remember to submit your master team roster as well. So you could choose multiple events that you want to end, but just click that button, Master Team Roster, at the bottom, and that will give us further access. On your team banners, make sure, especially if you're getting a new one, make sure to include your school name and your school graphics. And we also ask that you include a Unified Sports logo and the CIAC logo, which we can provide.
Bob, just going back to that, the roster, if you don't press submit, we don't get it.
Right.
They should get a confirmation email.
If you don't submit, you may as well quit.
Right.
No, don't quit. Don't quit. On uniforms, if you're purchasing new uniforms, consider reversible jerseys. That way, you don't have to deal with pennies if you're up against another blue and white team, which seems to be pretty popular in Connecticut. Remember, athletes, even numbers, partners, odd numbers, so that we can give the athletes the support they may need during a game, and opponents will recognize who needs that extra assistance. Sometimes we see it not too much in high school, middle school, but especially in elementary schools. The local Rotary or somebody will sponsor them, and they put the advertising on the t-shirts. Because of our agreements with Special Olympics, you can't have local advertisers on uniforms. Include the Unified Sports logo on the uniform, and we can help you with that as well. We'll send you these slides. There's a link to the logos there, but we can always provide them more easily if you need them. Coaching certification. Steve, do you want to just fill us in on coaching certification? I think the short course is appropriate.
Sure. Thanks, Bob. We are Unified is a recognized sport with CIAC. Therefore, we would like all of our coaches are required to be certified as a coach, just like any other coach at the high school or middle school. So you will need a state certification. You need your first aid, CPR, AED. That is good for 2 years in a row. You will have to get concussion training, which is listed here on the CIAC website. We also recommend getting the online unified course. It's an hour course. It's a great course. You'll learn a lot. And also there's other things in learn.specialolympics.org that may be specific to sports that you want to teach with your kids. So any questions that you have maybe on coaching certification, feel free to email us at the office and we can surely help you with that.
Yeah, and there's also other resources available that we can point you to. And here's that a link to that portal. Actually, I think we need to update this link now, Steve, now that you mentioned the new one. But we will update that for you too. They have
We updated that. That's
Oh,
the
you
new
did?
one.
Great.
Yeah.
They have over 70 courses directly related to Unified, and I'm going to be looking into see if there's a way we can get those to count for your coaching CEUs. It's a couple of technical hoops to jump through, but I think it would be helpful for Unified coaches.
Barb's having technical difficulties, but she wanted to add something to something.
Barb is having technical
I
difficulties?
know that's
That's hard
shocking.
to believe.
So she's on my
Inside-
phone via the computer, so yeah.
Inside joke, sorry. Go ahead. What did Barb want to say? I'm not in the chat.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, barely.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that even if you are a teacher and you've met those requirements of the CPR and first aid, et cetera, that there is a process that you have to go through, a very straightforward process, form to complete, that's not automatic.
For CEU provisions, you're right.
Right. I think she was talking about certification for coaching.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, you do have to submit an application and then a renewal every 5 years.
Every
You have
5
to
years.
Go through the process.
Right.
Even if you have those, you've met those qualifications.
Correct. And your AD can help you out with that as well.
Right.
There is another resource called Unified Classroom. John, do you want to just jump in quickly on this?
Sure. There's some great stuff on the generationunified.org website. It's all free. It's a resource directed from Special Olympics North America. It is very Google Classroom friendly, and there are lesson plans that can be downloaded directly into Google Classroom. There are videos that are unified, different activities, different lessons. There are some really, really great, short, easy to implement lessons and activities that you might want to use. Say if you have a half an hour with your students before you're waiting to get into the gym for practice, or in your unified PE classroom, if you're looking for different activities. It's a really absolutely fantastic and continuously growing and evolving free unified sports resource.
Great, thank you. We get a great deal of our funding, most of it, in fact, from Unified Champion Schools, which is a program within Special Olympics North America. And that provides funding for all kinds of stuff that we do. But they have a three-pronged approach that includes inclusive sports, which we think of first when we think of unified sports. But with equal weight, they also encourage post-school engagement and inclusive youth leadership. So a lot of schools have Unified Week. I know there was an email chain going around about October 10th being National Inclusion Day, a great way to celebrate your unified team and include your whole school, as well as inclusive youth leadership, which means that all of your kids can take a leadership role. Sorry about that. So it's not just our partners. Some schools call them mentors. We prefer the term partners because it promotes equality on the team instead of a, some people are more qualified than others. Our athletes have unique gifts that they can share, maybe not in all the same ways, but they have the capacity and really the responsibility of being leaders. So we encourage you to find ways to help with that. Let us know if you have any creative ways, or if you need some suggestions, we'll be glad to provide them. Barb, do you want to handle this slide for us? You're muted if you're
Yeah.
talking, Barb.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Am I on now?
You are.
Okay. So incorporating this, I'm going to answer a question as well as incorporating what's on this slide. Unified Champion Schools, as Bob said, it's the national program that provides funding and resources like Google Classroom, etc. But it also is the name of the model, of the three-pronged model that Bob was describing. And one of the aspects of Unified Champion Schools is it provides a national recognition program. Sometimes there's confusion. People think a Unified Champion School is one that has received the banner. A Unified Champion School is schools that embrace those three components, and a banner is one that's received national recognition. And someone had asked about to become a banner school, component 3 states that a coach will receive training in Special Olympics unified sports. Is the training that we do and that was just mentioned count for that? And my answer to that would be yes. The training that you get like today, as well as the online training through NFHS and SONA. So that's the answer to that is yes.
Great.
Can I just jump in for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
The NFHS course for unified sports, if coaches complete that online course, you get a certificate at the end. And if you send that to us, there are 3/4 zips that we have sent to coaches who have completed the course. And when I just checked with the group, as long as we still have them, you complete the course, we'll send you a 3/4 zip. And it looks very similar, the writing, it's a navy blue, and it has the CIAC Special Olympics logo, like what Bob is wearing. Yes. Thanks.
Yeah.
And as part of Unified Champion Schools, just at the end of the slide, we're always looking for youth leadership opportunities. There are youth innovation grants that are offered at the national level, and sometimes we provide them as well. Youth ambassadorships at the national level, as well as a youth activation council at the state level. Our youth summits, those types of endeavors. We're always looking for student leadership for both the athlete and the partner under the Unified Champion Schools umbrella.
And coming up next spring, a year from this coming spring, in June of 2026, we have the USA Games being held in Minneapolis. We're slated to have, I think, 3 school programs participate in that, as well as a youth leadership component. So we could possibly have 4 different programs represented there. Cognachog just came back from Panama. They applied for and received a grant from the U.S. State Department to do an international exchange. The Panamanians were here in the spring, and they just got back from the Canal Zone last week. So lots of opportunities out there. Barb does a great job of shepherding our National Banner Recognition Program. This year, we've got 22 schools recognized, and I think they should have found out today. So this is just breaking news today, but congratulations to all those folks. If they're one of them, we'll be reaching out with more information about banner presentations and ways to publicize your recognition. For whole school engagement, if you're just hearing that word, think fans in the stands, putting your game results on the morning announcements, just like other teams might, including your kids in your school athletic award ceremonies, promoting a R word or respect campaign, participating in the Penguin Plunge, getting your whole school involved. A lot of schools do the Rock Your Socks campaign, and then I think is a Down syndrome day. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
That's
worldwide Down syndrome.
And then there's autism awareness, all kinds of opportunities to involve your whole school. For inclusive youth leadership, get all of your kids involved with your inclusion campaigns, reading the morning announcements, sitting at a table collecting signatures, something athletes can certainly do alongside your partners, creating inclusion videos, co-captains leading practice or warm-ups, have co-officers so that they're leading side by side, have a unified pair report on unified activities for your social media or school newspaper or reports to the Board of Education. It's a great activity to do, gets a good word out, and those board members can be pretty bored listening to all that financial data, and they need a joy infusion as well. So lots of great opportunities for that. We have a Youth Activation Council meeting this week from Saturday. We'd love to have more members. Those are high school members we're talking about. We want to see both athletes and partners if possible. But if you'd like more information, let us know and we'll be glad to provide it. I know some emails already have gone out, but if you missed it, let us know.
So, of course, they went and they started doing a skirt there.
They did.
But they just put, it's not like tamped
Our sponsors include Connecticut
So you can't
Care,
live yet.
Connecticut Chapter Club Management, ESPN, the Connecticut Elks, Hometown Foundation, and Hoffman Auto Group. We appreciate their participation.
Are they doing the whole thing?
They started putting it up there to like fix it, but it's like soft. It's not.
Well, you can't drive on that.
I know that.
Carol, you might want to mute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Our social media, we have Facebook and Instagram. We're not as active on Twitter, but please follow us on those social media. And if you're doing something, tag us. If you have your own social media accounts for your teams and you're posting something, tag us in it. Use the hashtag PlayUnifiedCT, and we'll be able to find what you're doing as well. And don't forget, we have programs that start at preschool and go all the way up through college now. And college is getting more and more popular as a unified program. We're going to be jumping more into specifics on team construction, all that kind of thing. Anybody have any questions about the first section? Any comments to make?
Bob, is it too late for schools to submit an athlete and partner for the Youth Activation Council that's coming up a week from Saturday?
No, they can submit anytime up through next Saturday morning at 8:30, as long as they show up at 9. But no, we're always willing to take those, and even if they miss the first meeting. And somebody decides, hey, I want to get involved, we'll get them involved in our next effort. So never too late. All right, moving through regarding athletes and partners, just remember that all of our unified experiences include both athletes and partners wherever possible. Our teams are co-ed. So we don't have to worry about Title IX issues. Let's just have one team, male and female, together. Athletes are students with developmental disabilities. People sometimes ask us who's eligible to be an athlete. If you say that they have a special needs or developmental disabilities and you classifying them as athletes, we are not going to question you. You decide who the athletes are, who the partners are. Sometimes schools have had an issue where a student or parents did not want to have their child labeled as an athlete, so they participated as a partner. We're not going to question that. So that's up to you to decide on what best fits your kids. And we're all about making accommodations, so there's a good example of how we can do it. permission forms. Just make sure that when you're organizing your team, if your school has an athletic permission form, have your athletes and partners fill that out as well. Because if somebody gets hurt, even if it's not on the court, but it's during practice time or something, you want to be covered and make sure that you're following your school policies so that nobody can say you're missing something. Check with your AD and or your principal about your school policy for sports physicals, whether you need them for unified or not. Some schools will just go by the every 3-year physicals for unified. Some would like you to do it every year because that's what the sports program does. So just follow your own school's policy. If you have Down syndrome athletes, there is this atlantoaxial instability release that your nurse probably already has on file for a student, but you may want to check on that. That is as it says there, a condition associated with poor muscle tone that may limit certain functionalities in a student with Down syndrome. Emergency contacts, make sure you have that information, and not only that you have it in a file at school, but you bring it with you to an away situation. And in case somebody does get hurt, you need to contact a parent or get them medical attention. And also make sure you have it for both the athletes and the partners. The partner could twist an ankle just as easily as an athlete. And it's not a bad idea to include a form for yourself and your assistant coaches in case something befalls you, you have that information. We talked about the master team roster. And we're about to start soccer season. We have our first event next week at Bristol, one of our favorite soccer events. And so we recommend 12 players. If you're getting up towards 20, you probably want to think about splitting into 2 teams, roughly half and half, partners versus athletes. Males and females play together. If you're entering one of our tournaments or one of the other tournaments on our site, create 1 entry per squad. So you can you can have 2 different teams. You just have to do the entry process twice to establish that. We ask that if you have a huge team, that you limit it to 4 squads, but that each squad that you enter should have some responsible person to, in quotes, coach, in case we have to put you in the same rounds. 2 partners and 3 athletes on the team, plus an athlete goalie. The goalie should be ambulatory, not in a wheelchair, not too immobile. Some of our excitable athletes can get pretty aggressive, coming down quickly and launching a healthy kick. And if you're not able to move out of the way or lift your arm to protect your face, it could be a little painful. I know some folks have put their wheelchair athletes in goal because they're not mobile, but we would recommend not putting a wheelchair athlete in the goal because it's too much of a target, frankly. Level 5, we don't see too many true level 5s anymore, but we can be quite flexible on the numbers of players on the field, down to 2 athletes and a partner. And you always have the option of providing a one-on-one partner that would count just as 1 player. So if you have somebody who's really needs a lot of assistance, you can put a separate partner with them, and we wouldn't count that towards the 5 players on the field. Just
Bob, if I could just interrupt a little bit.
John.
It is critical at every level of the competition, whether it's a CIAC sponsored tournament or if it's an interscholastic game between Shelton and Pomperog or whatever level it happens to be, that we keep the correct number of players on the field at all times. We do have free substitution where, just like in ice hockey, you can put a player on and take a player off. But if you get to a point where all of a sudden one team only has 5 players on the field and the other team has 8 players on the field, it's confusing for the officials. It's not fair to the other team. We really want to try to keep that no matter what the sport, whether it's soccer or basketball. Keep that number as accurate as possible. Thanks.
Great. Yeah, and it gives more people playing time out on the field too. And when you overload, it can cause safety issues, and kids don't get enough touches on the ball. Just make sure your uniforms are the same. Athletes and partners wear the same uniform. Sneakers, no cleats. Jeans and jewelry are no-nos. No sponsor names on the uniform. We said that before. Special Olympics logo should be on the uniform. Again, shirt numbers even for athletes and odd for partners. We would never want to call an athlete odd, so that's how you remember that rule. Don't forget to bring your school banner for our march in. Water, medical kit, ice. We try to provide that at our locations, but it never hurts to have extra and have your own. Typically, we do 18 minutes, 16 minutes at middle school level. But depending on the tournament, how many rounds we have, we may modify those. And if you're having your own game, you can choose how to handle that. It's great to play 2 separate halves if you're just doing an interscholastic game. A lot of schools do a dance break in the middle. Adds to the socialization aspect and making friends on the other team. As we said, 3 athletes, 2 partners, plus the athlete goalie. And John reminded us that we have pre-substitution, a la ice hockey. Important to have practices because that's where you knit the fabric of your team together and develop those relationships that really are the crux of our program. For interscholastic games, each team, you should host a practice or a scrimmage ahead of time. It makes things more fun when you feel like you're confident. There's a link to some drills there for practice if you need them. And then at the end of the season, we'll be sending out a survey. So please keep track of your activities and so we can help report them on to the state and national level. If you're hosting your own event or one of ours for soccer, we do not have official soccer officials. So we count on schools that host to provide officials, often members of the school soccer team. That works out well. And then just some examples of drills here. Kathy, do you want to talk about any of these?
No, they really are. This is what, when you touch the link, they give you a bunch of different drills. It also gives you information. So if you have a student who's not getting a lot of power to their kick, they'll give you ways to correct that so a student is able to get a better kickoff or how to dribble. So it's just a very helpful guide. And the sports that are included in that guide, yes, are soccer. The pages are given to you on the previous slide, but also gives you basketball and track and field. So
good.
That's what it is.
So we'll go through those. Just a sampling of what that site looks like.
Yes.
So here's our a chart of our levels. Our competitive level 1 and 2 might even look like a JV or freshman game if you didn't know better. Recreational level, we're able to modify the rules slightly, but the kids should still have the ability to dribble, maybe not as well as or as fluid as someone at the competitive level. For level 4 and 5, those are the situations where we have more modifications and less fluidity to the game. Notice that level 3, 4, and 5, only athletes can score. Sometimes we'll have a level 2 team registered, but no other level 2 teams. So we're forced to have level 2 play a level 3. And in that case, we would ask coaches to go by the level 3 rules and have the partners refrain from scoring. We try as best we can to match the levels within a tournament, but sometimes we don't have the population to support that. All of our kids get medals, partners and athletes when they participate in a tournament. And then this is just an easy idea of who belongs in which categories. And the following slides, I'm not going to go through them here, but you can review them when we send this out to you.
One of the things that we did on the registration form last year, we made a big change, and it actually lists when you click on, you have to select a level, it will say level 1 competitive, most skilled players, level 3 recreational, most teams, and level 5 developmental.
Right.
So a lot of times people would get confused between the 5s and the 1s, which one was the higher level. So now when you actually register, it should be pretty
that
clear.
clue.
We get everybody hopefully in the right category.
Sounds good. Good reminder, John. Thank you. So yeah, a little bit more detail about the various levels. Wheelchair athletes may compete on a level 4 or 5 team. We've had some rare instances when they've been able to do level 3, but typically level 4. Wheelchair, and if they need a partner, that counts as one person, a dedicated partner. If a ball is caught under the wheelchair, it's a side out for the team who had the possession. And feel free to modify the wheelchair. You can see a couple of examples in these pictures. We've got a laundry basket attached to front of a wheelchair at the top. And then I think a tech ed program helped build a modification to the wheelchair pictured at the bottom. So you can do what needs to be done. And we're lucky enough to have the commissioner of cornhole, as I've been informed that he is the first statewide unified cornhole commissioner in the nation. So, John, you want to review our unified cornhole procedures?
Sure, Bob. It's really a great activity because it allows for all sorts of participation. Everyone can participate at a level that is competitive and exciting. So it's very, very easy to modify, to make modifications. Just simply have athletes or partners stand closer on the other side of the thing. In Connecticut, we have a setup, especially in our unified division here for the school-based unified cornhole, that our setup is very different. The rules that we play by are a little bit different. We keep the athletes and the partner from the same school on the same end so that they can kind of work together. And the opponent that they're playing against are down the other end. So we play only positive addition in the scoring. So whatever points they throw down, they score up all those points, and then what they throw back, they score down the other end. And then each of our CIAC tournaments We'll end with an elimination bracket where there's ultimately a winning pair of athlete partner together at the end of the tournament. Very exciting. Those of you that participated in those tournaments or witnessed those tournaments know that it's a fun experience for everybody involved. If you have questions about cornhole, or if you need to purchase additional cornhole equipment, we have links to the type of equipment that we use at the state level, and we'd be happy to share that information with you upon request.
Great.
Bob, that reminds me that we made a change this year in selecting activities or events that you can join. So if you want to play 2 soccer matches last year, that was all you can do. This year, we opened it up that you can now play up to 4 events per season. So that would allow you, let's say you wanted to pick 2 soccer matches, you can also pick maybe 1 or 2 cornholes as well. So that's something new for this year.
Great. Yeah, and then and games to 21 or 10 minutes is what we do in our tournaments, right, John?
These are our specific tournament rules. Those of you that are doing your own interscholastic events, this would be a great way to follow so that their students are prepared when they get to the state tournament.
Yeah. And I believe there is cornhole running at the USA Games next June. I don't know if there's a unified bracket for that yet, but could be.
I think that's gonna happen. I think that's the intent for them to have a unified bracket. So
yeah,
there'll be more information to come on that.
We do have a relatively new website. Things have changed a little bit. Just go to CIAC.org, CIAC.org, select the CIAC side. Then our unified sports section, if you were looking for it on the top, it's not there anymore. It's down on the left-hand side as the yellow arrow shows. Then to enter one of our events or to view our calendar or any other up-to-date information, you go to downloads and entries. And Carol asked me to point out that the calendar link there, the first one is a live link, so it's always up to date. We just have to change it in one place and it automatically updates the website and all of our linked information.
Bob, as is the current participating school coaches link right underneath that.
Yep.
That's also a live link, but if we don't know about the changes, we can't make them. So if there's changes to be made, you need to notify us.
Yeah, let us know, please. And if you have an assistant coach we don't have listed, let us know, or any kind of a change. We would like to have as much up-to-date information as possible.
And someone had asked earlier in the chat about finding a list of middle school programs that are active east of the river. That link, the unified currently participating schools and coaches, that link will take you to the most up-to-date list of schools that are participating.
Yeah, we do have them color-coded by school level, so that would help as well.
On a good day.
Well, it's color,
Yeah.
our intent to enter form is down there under submit entries. So you'd click that to see the options. There's a small version of the form there. You have to enter on time to participate. We keep the entries open typically until the week before, unless an event is just full and we couldn't accommodate anymore. So enter early if you can to assure that you have a spot. And if something comes up that you're not going to be able to fulfill that, let us know so we could open up a spot for somebody else. We ask you to enter 2 weeks prior in advance, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So we usually close it out a week ahead. Enter the names of all your athletes and partners. Even if they're not able to attend that specific tournament, we'd rather know that they exist than that they'll be there that day. You will receive an email to confirm your tournament play. If you don't get an email in short order after submitting your entry, it may be because you didn't hit submit, which means you didn't enter. So be careful you didn't do all that work filling out the form and forget to hit that submit button. You must respond with all the answers, otherwise it won't take the submission. You'll be asked how many students total attending, what level the team is, additions to the roster can be made with all the information. Sometimes that can be difficult, but if you call us, we can help you out with that, or just add additions ourselves for you. Don't forget to hit submit. You might hear that again. And then the top form just asks you basic demographic data. If you're entering more than one team, just remember you have to do a separate entry for each team. Then you're going to choose which events you want to enter. Check, check, check. Remember to check for master roster. And we've separated it by sport and by grade level. So you can see where your folks belong. Steve, I see football down here. We have a couple of football events in the fall, but I didn't put a slide in. Anything you want to say about flag football?
Sure, Bob.
Steve, sorry.
If you haven't played flag football and you really want to, by all means, check on one of those and come to them. A lot of kids it's either first time or they're just getting used to it, maybe playing early last year. At both of these events, what they will do is run some drills first so your kids know what they are doing. And within 15 minutes, your kids will be ready to play in a competitive game of football. So by all means, if you're interested in it, sign up for one of those events. If you do not have flag football equipment, but you wanted it, please email me at CIAC and we'll make sure you get a packet.
Great, thanks, Steve. Again, this is continuing the entry form. You're going to designate your level, as John said. Complete the team roster. Let us know the number of wheelchair athletes. And again, no birthday, so that makes it easier. Your principal coach information. Just check that you follow your school's health policies and click here to submit. Again, you'll get an email that you registered. That's an automatic kind of thing. And then we will send out a reminder a week before the event just to confirm that and let you know you're still attending. If you don't receive an email, call us and we'll confirm that you're registered. Or not.
Bob, on that note, I just got an email from Stephanie. She's not getting my emails anymore. And every year I go through, if you haven't gotten an email from me yet, you've been booted out of my email system for some reason. So please let me know if you're not getting emails from me, because I start sending them right away when we're back. So please let me know. I've had it happen a couple times last year, and it's happened again this year with a few people, and I'm not sure why, but you're not in there anymore. So I will double check on that for you, Stephanie.
Yeah, I got a text from another coach that may be in the same situation, so I'll have to check on that. You can, once you've entered a tournament, you can import your roster. There's a link right at the top of the form. Click here to import school and roster information from another event. So you could choose some previous entry, and that will fill out your form based on your last entry, and you won't have to type all those student names again. And then you could just add and subtract as appropriate. So that's a help. So that is, I think, all that we have planned. Do we have any questions, comments, suggestions? I can't see everybody, so just jump in, say, hey, it's me, and We'll be glad to take your questions.
I just wanted to add one thing. I saw in the chat something about students, older students and, starting to transition and everything like that. Special Olympics Connecticut is also working and developing a transition plan and program and a document for all the coaches and just for everyone in general. So this is more once they're out of the school and, looking for programs and just continuing their athletics. So we will be sharing that information with Carol and the whole team here at CIAC. Hopefully by mid-year, so that way you can have it ready for graduation and everything like that. But I saw something about age come up in the chat, so I just wanted to mention that because we had a nice meeting about a week ago or a week and a half ago. We were talking about that, so we are developing that as well for the coaches.
Great, thank you, Jeff.
I put my email in the chat. If anybody's new and doesn't have my email, please send me an email. I'll make sure I'll add you, and I will check on a couple of you who have expressed not getting emails.
Great. And I see that Stephanie is looking for an audible soccer ball. If anybody has a recommendation, she'd be interested in that.
Besby has those. We have a couple of those from Besby.
Oh, great. So they'll probably provide them for you with no cost, Stephanie.
And even think of contacting them, I'll do that first before I buy a few.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a little bit late. Are you guys sending out an email that has the whole links and everything where we can click on that and sign up for all that stuff? All the signups are in the Google slideshow that you just showed us, right?
And that's just a how-to. If you go to our website, CASCIAC.org, go to the unified section, and you'll see a link for downloads and entries, and then that's where you can enter.
Okay.
Dennis, I have sent out links for everything as well in Google Forms. So if you're not getting my emails, just put your email in the chat, please.
Thanks. I'll email you. I'm going to email
Thank
you.
Yeah, I just put the website in if we need
Are
it.
you going to send us a copy of what we saw today, though? The
Yes, we
spreadsheet?
will. We'll send it out to everybody in case they weren't able to.
If you have our
today.
email, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have my email or do I need to send it to Ms. Brzezowski?
You can send it to me or put it in the chat, either one.
Great. Yeah, if you haven't listed your name and school in the chat, please do so before we head out. I want to thank you for sticking with us for the hour, and we really appreciate everything you do for the kids at your school. And it's not just the folks on your team. You are really a leader for your entire school with inclusion and making the world a better place. So we really appreciate that. And thank you for being here today.